Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Welcome. Great to have you with us. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Pat had Dwight's A Purist sent this to us. Who's dumber? A whale trying to swim in a desert? A turtle sticking straws up its nose? Or Joe Biden? I think you got to go with Joe Biden there, right?
Well, yeah, I think so. I don't know, but the whale in the desert is...
Look at that. That's something else.
Where the ocean was.
Yeah. This is Egypt. Mm-hmm. In the desert.
Cool.
And so I guess it's been a little bit higher than it is today.
Yeah.
The ocean. Fascinating.
That's cool.
Because that's a fossil of, that's a 37 million year old whale skeleton, 65 plus feet long.
Wow.
Really something.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
So, but you're going with Joe Biden is dumber than a whale in the desert?
Yes. Yes, I am.
Well, do you have any evidence to back up that claim?
Well, let's see. His speech yesterday might provide some evidence. He had a really important message on the economy.
Tired of trickle-down economics. It doesn't work. My plans are to produce the strongest, fastest, most widespread economic recovery America has ever experienced.
What?
With record jobs, new record small businesses, and wages rising. It's the foundation for an economy that works for working families.
Huh.
Because of that foundation, we're better positioned than any country in the world.
Bro,
to
he's saying
overcome
this
global
with a straight
inflation
face.
that we're seeing
Yep.
and reach a new chapter of stable and steady growth. So let's come together.
Okay.
And focus on what matters.
To focus
Let's
on what's
build on the
matter.
extraordinary progress we've made. Let's continue to build this economy from the bottom up and the middle out. When that happens, everybody does well, including the very wealthy.
Really?
He's delusional, man.
No kidding. And he's really pissed off that his approval rating is below what Trump's was.
Wait, but he just said he should be, because he just said his plans
are
the strongest, fastest, most widespread economic recovery America has
it's been like a miracle, hasn't it?
And we're not giving him credit for it.
Right. He's pissed. He just can't understand it. But maybe I can help him.
Okay.
We dislike you with all the intensity of 1 trillion white-hot burning suns because you're an arrogant piece of crap, for one thing, who acts like he's on top of everything. Like he's the biggest gift mankind's ever received. Despite his mind turning to mush and compromising the United States of America in virtually every way. Joe, you're also a Marxist. Most Americans don't like that. You don't accept responsibility for anything. You're a lying sack. We provided many examples of that last week. And you're also a racist. What? Do you have any examples of that? Why, yes, I do. Thank you for asking. And it starts with one of the most famous, I guess, from the campaign in 2008, talking about Barack Obama.
I mean, you got the first sort of mainstream African American who is articulate and bright and clean and nice looking guy. I mean, that's a storybook, man.
It's a storybook, man. It shows you what he thinks of minorities. He also believes they don't know anything. They don't know how to do things. They don't know how to go places.
The other portion is a lot of people don't know how to register. Not everybody.
They can't register to vote.
In the Hispanic and the African American community, particularly in rural areas, distant and/or inner city
or
districts,
rural
know how to know how to get online to determine how to get in line for that COVID vaccination at the Walgreens or at the particular store.
That is, they can't understand how to get on the internet
or get in line. He doesn't even know what he's talking about. He's talking about himself. He doesn't know how to get online. He doesn't even know what that means. Oh.
I don't know how you survive this stuff, but nobody even paid attention to it. Wait, you're saying that minorities don't understand how to get on the internet or into a line, right? Is that what you just said?
Oh.
Where did you get that?
Oh, God.
Now, let's not forget his 7-Eleven education.
In Delaware,
right.
the largest growth in population is Indian Americans moving from India. Okay. You cannot go to a 7-Eleven or a Dunkin' Donuts unless you have a slight Indian accent. I'm not joking.
He's not joking either. He really is a racist. I really do feel that way. Yeah, we know. We know. Then this was, people wrote it off as just a slip of the tongue, but it wasn't.
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
Oh,
wealthy kids, black kids, Asian kids. No, I really mean it, but think how we think about it.
Kids who climb on rocks, tough kids, sissy kids, even kids with chicken pox. All of them. So.
What a racist.
Oh, my gosh. And then he believes they all think alike.
And by the way, what you all know, but most people don't know, unlike the African-American community, with notable exceptions, the Latino community is an incredibly diverse community.
Oh, okay.
With incredibly different attitudes about different things.
Right, but all blacks think alike and act alike and do the same things? That is the very definition of what a racist thinks, because he's lumping everybody into the same category. The entire category of blacks in America all agree and do and say and think the same way. This was another example of that.
So if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
Oh, okay. You remember the question that a black man asked him during the campaign about whether or not he'd been cognitively tested? Listen to his response on that.
Have you taken a cognitive test?
No, I haven't taken a test. Why the hell would I take a test?
Yeah, can you think of any reasons, Keith? I can't think of a single. Why the hell would he take a test?
None come to mind.
Wow, what a good question, because I don't know.
Come on, man. That's like saying before you got in this program, if you take a test where you're taking cocaine or not, what do you think, huh?
You're asking that to him.
Are you a junkie?
What do you say?
Huh. Oh. So asking him if he's taken a test, because he's old, I guess, would be the equivalent of asking the black man if he's a junkie. Huh. Okay. Interesting.
There's so many reasons to give Joe Biden a cognitive abilities test.
Oh, my gosh.
That is a legitimate question for that man.
Then he showed his idiocy on Hispanics and Latinos.
It's awful hard as well to get Latinx vaccinated as well. Why?
Latinx.
They're worried that they'll be vaccinated and deported.
Huh. Really? So he's assuming there all Hispanics or Latinx are illegal aliens. And they're all scared that they're going to be deported if they get a vaccination. If any of these were Donald Trump, you imagine they'd be using them over and over and over. They'd be included in every article about him.
And just one of those clips would be his end.
Yes.
Just one.
No question. It'd be the political and professional end of Donald Trump. Now, where'd he get all this stuff? Well, he did tell us who his mentor was.
For a lot of us, he was
at the Robert Byrd funeral. Robert Byrd of course, the KKK.
Oh, for a lot of us, he was a friend.
Yeah.
And he was a mentor and he was a guide. A
friend, a mentor, and a guide. A mentor? Yep. He mentored him on the blacks, didn't he? Reuters actually fact-checked whether Biden said he was mentored by Byrd in his eulogy. But because the article they were checking referred to Byrd as the Grand Wizard of the KKK, they labeled it partly false. And all they focused on was the fact that Robert Byrd wasn't the Grand Wizard of the KKK. Right. Okay.
Oh, God.
Okay. He wasn't the absolute head of the KKK. He was only an exalted cyclops in the KKK. Sorry. Like it matters what position he held in the KKK. rather than the fact that he was actually in it.
Right. And just take the horrible racism out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Could you ever see yourself belonging to a group where you are
an exalted cyclops?
You're an exalted cyclops. That's the what?
Yeah.
Who comes up with these names?
I don't know.
These are Democrats, by the way. I'd like to point out.
Yes, right. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And even after Robert Byrd got out of the KKK, he still filibustered the Civil Rights Bill in 1964 for 14 hours. He filibustered the Civil Rights Bill, trying desperately not to allow blacks to have civil rights. And this was the mentor, the friend, the guide of Joe Biden. Well, yeah, I can see that. I could definitely see that. So now he's pissed off that he's not as popular as he'd like to be. He's not even as popular as Donald Trump was. And he considers Donald Trump, to be the antithesis of everything he stands for. So Biden's deeply underwater. There's a new poll that's out by ABC News, ABC and Ipsos poll. And his approval rating on the economic recovery is at 37%. Maybe they must not have heard what he had to say about the economy.
Oh, yeah.
We better remind people, what did he have to say about the economy yesterday? Because,
Tired of trickle-down economics. It doesn't work.
Oh.
My plans will produce the strongest, fastest, most widespread economic recovery America has ever experienced.
Can you imagine that?
Record jobs, new record small businesses, and wages rising.
Mm-hmm.
It's the foundation for an economy that works for working families.
Man, you are
Because of that
delusional.
foundation, we're better positioned than any country in the world to overcome global inflation that we're seeing
My gosh.
and reach a new chapter of stable and steady growth. So let's come together and focus on what matters. Let's build on the extraordinary progress we've made.
Let's
continue to build this economy from the bottom up and the middle out.
Is there pudding?
When that happens, everybody does well, including the very wealthy.
I mean, delusional.
Since it took office, families are carrying less debt.
Oh,
Their
okay.
average savings
Less
are
debt,
up.
right? That's right.
A recent survey from the Federal Reserve found that more Americans feel financially
from
comfortable
October, by the way.
than any time since the survey began in 2013.
No,
Delusional doesn't begin to express how bad that is.
Yeah, that's from 2 days ago.
No, but he's talking about the poll he's talking about, or the survey. It was from last October.
Okay.
A recent survey found.
Oh, what?
That's October.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
This cat.
Very recent.
He sucks.
It was like yesterday. It's going on 9 months ago now. But this is what he does. He's desperately searching for anything that he can brag about, because everybody's doing so badly right now under his administration. There's nothing obvious that you can point to and say, yeah, I'm doing really well here. on economic recovery, 37% approval. On the issue of inflation, his approval rating is 28%.
Ooh.
28. Asked whether they approved of Biden's handling of various problems, his approval rating is the only good response apparently was the pandemic. I don't know how he rates above water on this, but it was 56% to 43. 56-43 approved to disapprove on the pandemic.
Okay.
And it's only because it's finally waning, I think, to the point where people aren't consumed with it every minute of every day.
Well, send that memo to the White House, because you wouldn't know it by what they're up to.
No, right. That is true. 37% approve of his handling of immigration. 61% disapprove. 37%, we mentioned the economic recovery, and the same 61% disapprove. 38% approve of his handling of crime. 61% disapprove. 37% approve of his handling on taxes. 61% disapprove. He fared slightly better on climate change and the Russian invasion of Ukraine, but was still at net disapproval on both. 43% approve of his climate change strategy, 55% disapprove. 46% believe his reaction to Ukraine has been satisfactory, 52% disapprove. Even on issues that are high priorities for Democrats, he was upside down. Let's see. On abortion, 41% approve, 58% disapprove. On the issue of gun violence, 35% approve, 64% disapprove. He is in bad shape, and so are the Democrats. And I think they're starting to understand the predicament they face, because when you got the top of the ticket, of course, he's not on the ballot this time, but when you've got the president of the United States completely disliked by the vast majority of Americans, you don't really have a chance in the midterms. So we'll see. I mean, if anybody can blow this lead, it would be the Republicans. And so I hope they don't do it, but I don't put it past them. That's for sure.
Yeah, was it overtime yesterday? Yeah, when we talked about the Associated Press warning us about compromised computer systems during the upcoming midterms.
Yeah, did you know that there were some potential vulnerabilities?
No.
With the Dominion voting system.
Not in my America.
Huh. Was what the AP story was actually about, despite the fact that Donald Trump was a lying sack and falsely claimed that something happened with the voting machines. Yeah, the voting machines can be rigged. They can be hacked. They can be a problem.
Yeah, and you wanted us to hang on to this story, so I have it taped in my calendar for next November, coming up here in a few months. So we'll revisit that AP article if things go crazy again.
Yes, please. All right, let me tell you about Moink. That's moo plus oink to get Moink. And this is where you're going to get all kinds of delicious meat. 60% of U.S. pork production comes from one company owned by the Chinese. Did you know that? And their hogs are giving something called ractopamine, which is banned in just 160 countries.
Which is good, because it doesn't taste good. I don't like the taste.
You don't like the taste of ractopamine?
Ractopamine.
Huh. Weird.
No.
That's weird. Really? You don't sprinkle that on everything?
My palate just isn't,
all right,
refined.
That's what I marinate my vegetables in.
Is that
ractopamine.
Right? Okay.
Yeah. And then I throw them away. But there's a better way. Moink delivers grass-fed and grass-finished beef and lamb, pastured pork and chicken, and sustainable wild-caught Alaskan salmon straight to your door. So delicious. You've got to try the salmon. It is so good. Moink farmers farm like our grandparents did. And as a result, Moink meat tastes like it should, because the family farm does it better. The Moink difference is a difference you can taste. You are going to say, well, maybe you won't say.
No, I'm not saying that.
Oink, oink. I'm so happy I just got moinked.
I can't even remember it. How am I going to say that? Just give me the awesome food, man.
Yeah, here's the thing. Just keep American farming going by signing up at moinkbox.com/unleashed right now. And because you listen to this show, you're going to get free filet mignon in every order for a year. That's really fantastic. That's 1 year of the best filet mignon you'll ever taste for a limited time only. Spelled MOINK. Moinkbox.com/unleashed. That's moinkbox.com/unleashed.
It's Pat Gray Unleashed on the Blaze.
What an incredible economic recovery we're experiencing right now.
Unprecedented.
More than experiencing. I mean, we're enjoying it. It's been a great ride. Mm-hmm. Like yesterday, I enjoyed so much paying $105.25 to fill up my tank. That was so much fun.
Such a pleasure. Right?
I loved it. I thought, man, at least it wasn't $205.
Yeah.
You know?
See?
Right?
Look at you, Mr. Brightside.
Uh-huh. It could be $10 a gallon instead of $5.19 a gallon.
Could be.
Could be. Now, the average price across this great nation of ours just went up to $4.91.9. So it's essentially $4.92 a gallon.
Boy, look at that.
You do save that tenth of a penny. Well, actually, you don't. But we'll pretend for the moment that
fun?
it's really $4.91.
Everything we've warned about under Marxism is coming to pass.
Sure is. Yeah, and we're feeling that just incredible joy of a tremendous economy. Thanks to Joe. Thank you, Joe Biden.
All right.
And you go to the grocery store, and if you can find food, the price has only gone up, 10 to 15% over the last little while? Mm-hmm. No, it's not bad.
Some things more than that.
At least it's not 100% yet.
Oh, just wait to the...
Or 1,000%.
Just wait to the ripple effect of the 200,000 chickens burned up in that fire.
What is the deal with the fires at the food plants?
Wait till that trickles down. What did I hear? We should expect, by the end of summer, $12 for a dozen eggs. Is that right? Yeah.
What?
Yeah, something like $1 an egg is probably on the horizon, they're saying right now, unless something drastic
changes. Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah.
Wow. Old people will just do without eggs. At that price, $12 a dozen? No. No, thanks. Not buying eggs at that price. Jeez.
Yeah.
But it's the greatest recovery in American history.
Unprecedented.
He's done such an incredible job. And we're all feeling the effects of that incredible job and just enjoying things a great deal right now.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, I did the math. At Costco, it's already for the 18-pack 61 cents per egg. So we're not far away.
No. Wow.
Yeah. So it's
wow.
We're here. Good times.
Incredible. So it's almost $10 a gallon in California.
Isn't this something?
$10 a gallon.
Look at that. $9.76. I see $9.45 there for the
$9.45.9.
That was a week ago. It's already probably up since that picture was taken.
Wow. So how do you afford $10 a gallon gas?
Oh, you don't.
You don't. Seriously, at that point, you're starting to think, okay, I
guess I'll sleep at the office.
Right.
Seriously.
And you're going to limit your trips. You're not going to go on vacation. This is going to affect airline tickets too, of course, because the price of fuel is going to be steeper. This affects the price of everything. And the food, of course, to deliver the food in the trucks that use the gas and the diesel. Wow.
And under normal circumstances, I would say this would chase people back into the city, where it's hell with crime and everything. However, with so many people able to work remotely, I wonder if now, instead of staying home because of COVID, can they petition their bosses, can I stay home because I ain't paying such and such for gas?
Yeah. Oh, that will happen. Yeah, that will happen. And maybe Elon Musk will go back on his edict that everybody must return to work, because that's an expensive proposition. Just going back and forth to work is really expensive right now.
Chaos society right now.
Now, the Saudis, who just agreed to increase their production by 50%, also increased their price per barrel by, I think, $2.10 or something.
So we'll give you more
per barrel.
We'll produce more gas.
Yeah,
it's just
gonna cost you more. And so that's what they did. And that's probably one of the reasons why the prices haven't gone down at all. First of all, it takes a while. The price increase is always immediate.
Yep.
The price decrease is always lagging behind.
Gosh, if only we had our own, God-given natural resources here.
Too bad we don't have any oil or natural gas.
We always have to go hat in hand to other countries that maybe we don't particularly like Saudi Arabia or Venezuela or Russia.
Yeah.
Shoot, I wish we had oil here.
Too bad.
That stinks.
Too bad we can't be energy independent. But that hasn't happened since clear back in 2019, 2020-ish. In there. How old were you back then?
Oh, gosh.
I think I was 4.
You were 4?
I was 4 years old.
I'll be darned.
Last time we were energy independent.
You have an incredible voice for being 6 years old, I'll tell you that.
No, it's been longer than that, Keith.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, the whole point of how old were you then?
So the one time I get math right, I completely blow the bit.
Yeah, pretty
much.
My
bad.
Pretty much.
Apologize for that.
We got this really cool graph, though, from, is it Carl Higbie? This is so clear, even a child can understand what's going on here with U.S. gas prices.
Look at this.
Obama, Trump, Biden.
Huh. gotta have to update that graph, man. That stops at $4 a gallon, right? Or $4.50 a gallon.
Yeah, $4.50 a gallon.
We're
way beyond that.
Keep drawing that line upward. My word.
That is a great graph, though. That's a great graph.
I love how it's written in kid. Like
I do too.
Either that or actually that looks like my handwriting, doesn't it?
Kind of.
It's actually better
than your handwriting.
He's trying to go for a kid here. Yep, there you go. Boy, I miss having a president that loved our country.
And put America first.
Sure did.
Put America first. That's why Donald Trump managed to get us energy independent for the first time in a really long time under his leadership. And we could do the same thing again. We could. Biden just refuses to because it's not their goal to be energy independent right now. Mm-hmm. It's their goal to switch us over to the climate change philosophy and the sustainable sun and wind energy, which is so efficient and so inexpensive. And wow, it powers about, 4% of the U.S. economy right now. So we're ready to switch right on over to it.
Yeah.
They could, but they won't. They could at least go to nuclear, which would be cleaner than fossil fuels. And, it's renewable.
Boy,
but they won't do it.
This climate change, global warming, environmentalist bullcrap that has been a part of America for, 60 years now?
Mm-hmm.
Since the 60s, really? Boy, it's really paying great dividends now when you try to take care of your family and pay for the gas price at the pump. In fact, it's so ridiculous now that in Los Angeles, the city council has just passed a thing that says new construction for either houses or businesses can't have gas-powered stoves and gas-powered grills, and so or any kind of appliance.
What?
It can't be gas-powered. So
it's better to be electric,
I guess. So, right, you do the math. It's insanity. And so all of these Asian restaurants that depend on gas grills and gas stoves are like, hey, thanks. I mean, you could make the case, if you want to play the leftist game, that this is a racist policy that they're implementing. And so all of these Asian-owned businesses that are planning new construction are like, okay, so this sucks.
Wow.
How do you make a living?
Unbelievable.
So you say get out of the cities, get away from these ridiculous progressive policies, and then you can't afford to commute to a job.
How does that even make sense?
Right.
Is the gas less, is it less environmentally friendly than the electricity that they're getting?
Yeah, this I don't know.
What are you generating the electricity with?
But you know the logic of the left on this. You just plug it into a wall. I mean, we've played time and time again people showing how idiotic they are about and naive of where their electricity comes from.
That's true.
So
that's
somebody needs to tell the LA City Council, okay, we'll just build another coal-fired power plant. See if that one gets through. It's insanity.
Oh, man. Well, they're going to reap the benefits, as they have with all of their policies in California. All of their policies have led California to where it is right now. And that's not in a good place. I mean, the water shortage there is because of their policies, too, not just the weather. Mm-hmm. Their water policies have been so insane, just like, the forestation problem that they have there with the fires. They just won't take care of the state in a reasonable way. I mean, California should not be in the situation it's in. It's got all kinds of resources, more than anybody anywhere, really, on the face of the planet.
It is insanity.
What a mess.
And by the way, I was reading about the rare earth stuff. That is where we were getting them and then shut down. It was in California. So now we, of course, are beholden to China. Mm-hmm. And boy, it is a desperate situation.
It's a good thing to be beholden to China, isn't it?
Of course it is.
They love us, and we love them back. It's going to be great. 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up.
I love Chinese people too, but come on.
Now back to Pat Gray on the Blaze Radio Network.
Some tweets here. Corinthian leather giblets tweets. When Biden says those things, you have to wonder, does he really believe it?
Yeah, he's He's both clueless and evil. Perfect balance.
Yep. Carl Smith tweets, watching Joe Biden give that glowing economic speech is definitely proof he reads what they put in front of him and hasn't a clue what he's talking about. Sarah the Roma, I work right next to a Dunkin' Donuts. Not a single Indian works there.
Well, wait, are you calling my president Joe Biden
a liar?
Sarah.
Laura tweets, think about it. Having such high gas prices is the way to keep people in their houses without having an official lockdown. It's evil genius. Rowdy Introvert, you're only able to frame Joe Biden as a racist by taking his remarks completely and totally in context. Yeah, and we're only able to say he's a racist because it's true. So there you go.
Yeah.
Just facts are facts, right? Mask mandates are now being associated with increased COVID death rates.
Uh-oh.
This is the second story in as many days, on actually maybe the third in as many days, because I think we had a story from Europe on Friday. We had a study that came out here yesterday, and now this. A bombshell new medical journal report comparing COVID-19 fatality rates across Kansas counties during the height of the pandemic alleged that mask mandates could be associated with higher death rates from the virus. This is from the National Pulse. The observational study, the Fogan effect, a mechanism by which face masks contribute to the COVID-19 case fatality rate, was published in Medicine in February 2022, authored by German doctor Zacharias Fogan. The paper analyzed whether mandatory mask use influenced the case for fatality rate in Kansas during the time period from August 1st, 2020 to October 15th. Kansas was used for comparison because the state allowed each of its 105 counties to decide whether or not to implement mask mandates, with 81 counties deciding against the measure. The most important finding from the study is that contrary to the accepted thought that fewer people are dying because infection rates are reduced by masks, this was not the case. Results from this study strongly suggest that mask mandates actually caused about 1.5 times the number of deaths, or 50% more deaths compared to no mask mandate. This is incredible. Paper went on to theorize that the so-called Fogan effect, that's hyper-condensed droplets caused by masks, are re-inhaled and introduced deeper into the respiratory tract and could be responsible for the increased mortality rate.
But we were the crazies. We were the conspiracy theorists who didn't know anything.
Right.
Trust the science. Trust the science. Shut up.
My gosh.
There's your science right there.
There it is. 50% higher death rate in the counties that insisted that you wear masks. Jeez, that's really something. I mean, I knew they didn't help, but I don't think I imagined that they... Well, actually, we probably did, that they hurt, because you keep wearing them, too. They're filthy.
Yeah, that was our
And
argument.
we keep wearing them.
Yeah, what are you breathing in constantly? Constantly. That's right there.
Yeah, and not just COVID.
Right. Instead of just exhaling and moving on with your day and letting that waft away. No, you're just breathing it in and out and in and out. And we thought, what are you doing to yourself? I said, if you're a medical student right now, you need to get into pulmonary, because there are going to be so many lung issues going forward from people wearing masks around the clock. And this is wild right there, that it actually was causing more deaths. I think that's worse than even we thought. We just thought it was going to be other ailments.
Yeah, right.
My gosh, that is
something else. Unintended consequences every single time. Also, even in light of that, the CDC just raised its alert level for monkeypox to level 2 yesterday, recommending that travelers wear masks.
They're going to get those back on your face one way or another, y'all. You understand this?
And I'm sorry, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Not a chance.
At all.
Oh, shut up.
Nowhere will I do this again. I'm not going to sit in church with the mask on. I'm not going to sit on an airplane for 4 hours with a mask on. No.
And if everyone refused to participate in society and say, screw you and your stupid rules, then this stuff would be over in 5 minutes.
Yeah. And you know how many people have monkeypox in the United States of America?
Ooh,
how many?
Oh, I know. I read. 21 people.
21 people. Yes, indeed.
Wow.
21.
Whoa.
Now, that's almost the whole nation, as you know.
You got 30 people in this country? 30.
Almost 30.
Almost.
Yeah, I think it's like 29 and a half people.
And a half?
Yeah.
We got
I don't know. Don't
Black
ask
Knight
me.
from Monty Python is in this country now. So, wow, 21 people. And
Out of 335 million.
And the CDC is like, no, we
need
still
masks.
matter. Please, listen to us.
Cases of monkeypox have been reported in Europe, North America, South America, Africa, Asia, and Australia, the CDC wrote. Yeah, and it's very few people in all of those countries. Some cases were reported among men who have sex with men. How dare you say that? How dare you say that?
I love how they can't even say
I know.
homosexual men.
Some cases were reported among men who have sex with men. Huh, what do you call that?
We need
I don't know.
Corby, after the show, let's brainstorm and come up with a word for that.
Some cases were also reported in people who live in the same household as an infected person.
Okay. Well, you need to wash your clothes or your sheets more often, I guess. This is not...
This is amazing.
They're going to find a way to get the masks back on your face.
They're trying desperately.
We are relevant. Listen to us. Remember, we're the CDC. We're important. We matter. We're in control. Remember? When do we get that ruling on airplane masks again? When's that coming down the pike? I need to look that up because
I don't know.
They're trying.
They are.
They're not going to stop.
Yep. Let me tell you about iTarget Pro. In Joe Biden's America, criminals are exalted, police are condemned. Sad to say, but you need to be prepared and properly trained to defend yourself and your family. And thankfully, there's iTarget Pro. This is a revolutionary system and a fun system that allows you to dry fire practice with your actual firearm anytime and in the safety and privacy of your own home. You don't have to go to the range. You don't have to spend a bunch of money. You don't have to take trips back and forth. And you don't have to buy a bunch of ammo that's super expensive if you can even find it. Just download iTarget's proprietary app, load the laser bullet into your firearm, and start your training experience. And the laser shows you where on the target you're hitting, and it's just a lot of fun. Kids can participate. It's completely safe. And iTarget Pro comes in all the major calibers, including .223, so you can stay sharp with your AR-15. Go to iTargetPro.com right now. You'll save 10%, plus you'll get free shipping when you use the offer code PAT. Makes a great gift for Father's Day, which is coming up. What is that, 2 weeks from Sunday? From last Sunday? I think so, yeah. 19th, yeah. And it's less expensive than just a few hours at the range. It's the letter I, then targetpro.com. itargetpro.com, offer code PAT.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
Hey, they're going to do the January 6th committee in a big prime time hearing that will feature previously unseen material and witness testimony. Yay! They got a former ABC producer to produce the whole thing.
Unreal.
Isn't that weird?
This is the definition of a show trial.
Mm-hmm. Well, it is a show trial.
Yeah. So they've got, 6 dates that they're going to televise? Mm-hmm. 6 dates, and the first one and the last one are in prime time on a Thursday night. Pat, why is Thursday night so important when it comes to television? Do you recall? That would be the first night of ratings in a week, right?
Oh, that's right.
That's when they send out the little Nielsen diary, and that's
right.
been traditionally the most important rating day of the week.
Incredible. Just incredible.
So there you go.
We've never seen anything like this.
This is
the House Select Committee investigating January 6th, the January 6th insurrection of the U.S. Capitol, formally announced Thursday that its first public hearing will take place June 9th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time.
Oh, the world's a stage, man. This is a show.
The committee will present previously unseen material documenting January 6th, receive witness testimony, preview additional hearings, and provide the American people a summary of its findings about the coordinated, multi-step effort to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential election and prevent the transfer of power.
There's going to be commercial breaks, I bet, right? And probably like intro music. And...
Yeah, since it's being produced, I would guess, yeah. Yeah, they want to make money from this.
Does anybody else feel like this is Capital City? This is the Hunger Games. Here we are.
Wow, it does have that feel.
Sure does.
Jeez.
Sure do.
And I'll not be watching.
No.
I will not be watching their stupid pony show. Also, there's a serious breach. Key senators are demanding an update on 50 dangerous Afghans that, the Biden administration just let enter the United States of America. We're not having hearings on that because this is fine. Don't even worry about this.
Whatever.
Don't even think about it.
The fact that you're even concerned about this.
I know. Well, I'm really not.
Okay.
I just want you to know about it because it's out there.
It's out there.
And people are going to be making a big deal out of it. Don't worry about it.
Are they?
Yeah.
Is this going anywhere?
People on the right, right-wing kooks will be making a big deal out of this.
The haters that want you and your family safe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look, it's only 50 Afghans.
Right? It could be 100.
Right, it could. Or 1,000. It's not. 3 U.S. senators are demanding a briefing from the FBI on dozens of Afghan refugees that were mistakenly let into the United States by the Biden administration, despite security flags, serious security red flags in their background. The lawmakers are seeking to learn how many of the refugees have been expelled and whether the vetting blunders have been fixed. I bet none of them have been expelled, nor has anything been fixed. Senators Charles Grassley and Rob Portman, also James Inhofe, wrote in a letter that was released Friday, they're concerned the background check process has not been fixed. Huh. Are you really? Are you concerned about that? Because I'm guessing you're probably right. The Pentagon Inspector General concluded that at least 50 Afghan refugees brought to the United States in the aftermath of the bungled troop withdrawal had significant security risks in their background that weren't detected because DOD officials didn't check all the required intelligence databases. Why would you check? It takes time. I don't want to do that.
Yeah. We got to hurry up and get these really dangerous people into this country. Meanwhile, we're going to leave the good guys that helped us and Americans there to be slaughtered. We're going to leave them behind.
Now, why would you check the database that is the Defense Department's tactical terrorism data? Why would you check on that? You wouldn't, and they didn't.
Is there some connection that I'm not aware of between the country of Afghanistan
because they could be terrorists.
Terrorists? There is?
There's
a link.
And in fact, these 50 people were apparently in the database.
Wow.
The tactical terrorism database.
That we couldn't be bothered to glance at.
Yeah, right.
Pat, is there anything this administration has done right? Anything besides
no?
If
I don't think so.
The answer is how do you destroy a country? You're doing that right.
They're doing that
all ways possible.
More than half of the flagged evacuees could not be immediately located inside the U.S., further exacerbating fears. Yeah. Jeez. Okay. If people lose their lives over this,
yeah. File that into your memory bank there.
And, of course, that won't be Biden's fault.
No.
We inherited a real problem. And so the Trump administration had a lot of people. Yeah, but this happened during your watch.
Yeah.
Is it time for pudding yet? Who's got pudding?
But answer the question.
I'm good. Well, I can't.
Didn't this happen during your watch?
I have to go now.
You had been president for 8 months at this point.
Ask JKP or KJP. KJP. Her. Ask her.
Oh,
I think that's her pronoun.
She's going to say the same
positive.
thing over and over again.
She's going to be.
Look, the president. Look, we understand Abbott is working.
Look.
Look, the president process, and is he disappointed? Look, the president has been. The president has been very.
And that could have gone on for a week or two.
Yeah.
And not repeated one look.
Because almost every answer or every non-answer starts with look. Look. Anytime she's challenged on something, look. Okay. Also, you might note that there's another little problem.
What?
Yeah. Not just Afghans flooding across the border, but
What now, Pat?
several
From Mexico.
Now they're delivering avocados from Mexico. So
That's what they're delivering.
You should be excited about that. Several thousand migrants are setting out, walking in the rain in southern Mexico, tired of waiting to normalize their status, where there's very little work, there's nothing for them to do in southern Mexico, and they're getting antsy, and they're coming here. And there's only about 5,000 of them in this particular caravan, so don't even...
Oh, that's nothing.
Again, don't worry about it.
Nothing.
Their advocates said they wanted to call attention to their plight, timing it with this week's Summit of the Americas in Los Angeles. It's estimated 4,000 to 5,000, mostly from Central America, Venezuela, and Haiti. It's the largest migrant caravan to attempt to leave Mexico this year. Mexican authorities have eventually broken up others through a mix of force and offers to quickly resolve their cases.
Catch that offer. Mm-hmm. So that is Donald Trump back during his term telling Mexico, hey, you're going to take care of this problem before it comes up here.
Right.
That's what that is.
It's exactly what that is.
And now there is no reason to stay back, and there's no incentive for Mexico to stop them. So they're coming. They're coming.
They're coming. And they're going to be much larger caravans very, very soon. 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up. Well, leftists on social media blasting 5 baseball players from the Tampa Bay Rays who cited religious reasons for refusing to wear rainbow colors on their uniforms for the team's LGBTQIA2+ Pride Night game. It was on Saturday night against the White Sox, and 5 players didn't wear the colors. They instead peeled off the Rainbow Burst logo on their jersey sleeves and wore the team's standard cap instead of the Pride cap with the rainbow-colored TB on the front.
Good for them.
Well, yeah, I guess for a hater like yourself.
What? I thought you were supposed to, be able to object to stuff you find offensive.
No, because people are essentially, you must participate now in Pride Month.
I see.
You're being forced to participate in Pride Month. I'll say it again. This was never about tolerance. This was not about tolerance. Apparently, hetero Christians must now participate. And here's the thing. If you want to proclaim to the world that you're proud of the kind of sex you prefer, go ahead. I don't care. Go ahead and do it. But I don't have to proclaim that I'm proud of the kind of sex you prefer. And neither do these 5 Tampa Bay Rays.
Right.
Since when did this happen? That not only must we tolerate, we must, again, this was what it was about, we must embrace and then promote, because that's what they're asking us to do now. That's what they're demanding that we do now. We've got to participate in this, whether you like it or not.
And I mean, you're right. It never was about tolerance.
Never.
Tolerance was the foundation to build upon. And you jokingly, maybe not, you jokingly say, eventually you're just going to have to be gay or they're not going to be happy till you are. Well, hell,
Right.
it's basically
right.
there now.
I mean, we are there. We're absolutely. I mean, what if Christians were trying to force atheists to wear a cross or put a wreath on their lapels at Christmas time? What kind of firestorm would we be experiencing? We are almost living in a gayocracy now. It's not a democracy. It's a gayocracy because we have to conform to everything the LGBTQ crowd wants us to do. Or maybe it's a sexagarchy. It's not an oligarchy. It's a sexagarchy. I mean, it's just kind of amazing what we're being asked or what we're being told to do. 5 guys that just say, no, you know what? That's not for me. You go ahead and do your celebration. I'm not going to protest your celebration. Go ahead. But I'm not going to participate in it. How about that?
No, you can't. You can never just demand to be left alone.
No, right.
We've learned that was the lesson that we learned during COVID. You know,
yes.
I just want to do my own thing. No,
you can't.
Whoa.
Sorry, no. I will not allow it.
Yeah.
And I mean, look at how hard they're working at grooming our children. On Disney Plus right now, under the heading New to Disney, you got Mac Wrestles. Mac is a trans wrestler, and it's Mac's story on Disney Plus. Under the heading Celebrate Pride Month, you've got Glee to see. You've got the something called Out, which I guess is some kid coming out to his parents and others. Better Nate Than Ever. I don't know what that is, but it's under the heading Celebrate Pride Month, so I understand. I assume it has something to do with Pride Month. Under the heading Have Some Time, they have a whole Pride collection that you can watch. And, of course, High School Musical fits in there, too, I guess, somehow. But they have inundated Disney Plus with LGBTQ propaganda to groom our kids. Is there really a big demand for gay and trans programming on Disney Plus? I mean, how many people sit around the dinner table and say, hey, you know what? Disney has an entire section dedicated to LGBTQIA2 plus movies and shows. Kids, what do you say? What do you say we find a really good story about an 11-year-old realizing that she's a male stuck in a female body her whole life? How about that? Let's watch that tonight.
I would say, why are we having this conversation at the dinner table? Let's all get to the living room, take our plates over there, and watch it now. I can't wait for supper to be over.
You can't wait because you've been so excited about it.
Right. And you talk about the grooming, and Disney is a large part of this, as we learned through their going after the Florida bill. Did you hear about the former? He was an actor on the Disney Channel, and he played a grandfather. And in real life, he tried to arrange sex with a 13-year-old.
Oh, no.
He's now headed to prison.
Oh, wow.
So he can go and have fun in there.
Okay, so that's still wrong. That's still taboo.
I get apparently. Well, see,
right, so
I
far.
think it was Florida. Probably. I don't know. I don't know what state it is. So you know what? For the next,
all right.
Well, you know what though? You say that's still wrong. I have a prediction, and it is this time next year when Pride Month 2023 rolls around next June. They're not going to add family friendly to these drag shows. They're not going to say, hey, it's a family friendly event. No. It's just going to be like, bring your kids. Which, by the way, there's a Texas lawmaker now introducing a bill to say you can't bring kids to a drag show. It's a shame that we have to even codify that into law. That's where our society is.
But you can bring the 12-year-old boy children.
No, Michael. No. This is not. No, Michael.
You bring the 12-year-old boy children.
This is not the topic for you.
Then we can have some Jesus juice afterwards.
Okay. Can you maybe? Okay. Michael, sit this one out. Would you?
I don't understand the drag thing. I really don't. I don't. Why and how did this all of a sudden become a huge thing that children are supposed to enjoy? How did this happen where you invite drag queens to read stories to 4 and 5-year-olds at libraries? Then you invite them to school. Then you have the drag celebrations at church. There are churches doing this.
Yep.
Then you have the big event we had in Dallas at the gay club with drag queens, and everybody brought their families to it.
Yeah, I will say Mr. is kudos on the name of the gay bar. That is a good job with that. Mr. Then we had the event in Austin, too. I mean, Texas, man. Get it together. Look at this. And the reason, it's not that I want to keep dwelling on these videos from these drag shows, but check out this thing in Austin that really stands out to me is look at how many families are there for this event. Do we have the video? Look at this. So the kids are following around this
look at
Lady Gaga impersonator dude. Dude.
Yeah.
And the kids are following around like Pied Piper. Him around.
Yeah, that's not grooming, though.
Yeah.
That's not grooming.
But look at
what
this.
What are you talking about?
The audience is nothing but families with picnics and blankets laid out. I mean, they are there having a day of it at the old Pride event.
That's great.
Just...
I mean, it's everywhere, too. The Denver Botanical Gardens has a drag queen story time. The Denver Botanical Gardens.
Oh.
Dress up as your favorite pollinator and join us for a very special story time in honor of Pride and Pollinator Month. Drag Queen Story Time with our wonderful host, Paul Nader, will take place in Classroom 1. Story Time will be featured by a runway show where you can fly, flutter, and flaunt your pollinator persona to celebrate the wonderful diversity of pollinator population and the wonderful diversity of people, too. Okay. Just $5 for the public. Advanced registration is required. Okay.
All right. What do they do at a botanical? Don't they just plant flowers? Like, that's what they do at these places. I mean, why don't you just stick to your gardening? And if you're a parent and you're taking your kids to these events, whether it's something like the Mr. Bar, or if it's even this Denver Botanical Garden stuff, I am always on the outside saying, don't let the government get involved in stuff. Do not let them get... I swear, we need case files opened up on a lot of these parents that are taking these kids to these events.
It's bad.
You need Child Protective Services to intervem because these
and CPS
kids
has intervened on a lot less than this.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, they have.
In fact, we've got this... Somebody posted this on, is it Facebook?
Yeah, this was from Facebook. Oh, my goodness.
This is incredible. From a parent with a supposed transgender child. Listen to this. Parents of transgender children. My son got his second blocker yesterday! ! Yay! It was going great until the doctor came in to perform the procedure. The doctor was amazing, by the way. My son freaked out after the numbing cream and after the numbing medicine was put in with the needle. He got so scared he refused to have the procedure. Okay, so you left, right? That's great. He didn't want it. No. Luckily, Children's Hospital provided a child specialist to stay with us during the whole procedure. Her job was to calm him and distract him so that we can go ahead and force this on him. That part is from me. You're welcome.
No, it's with the truth.
It took over an hour of negotiation before he let the doctor continue. I literally bribed him with money to change genders. Yeah. She's trying to change his gender. Obviously, they're not performing the surgery on his genitals yet.
I thought we were.
But they are trying to block his puberty from happening. I guess.
Hormones,
right.
I thought we were letting the kids decide. He made it
that's
very
what I thought
clear
too.
For over an hour, he didn't want this.
I don't want it. Don't do this. I want to go home. It was the most stressful hour. I was so scared he wasn't going to go through with it, and I just kept thinking the consequences if he didn't. Get this. The medicine cost $43,000 plus the cost of the insertion packet. So she's concerned about the money that she's already spent on this.
I'm going to be out all this cash, yeah.
Yeah. Not the welfare, not the well-being of her child.
Yeah, and it doesn't even sound like she's the one paying for this. Listen to this.
Not sure the insurance would approve it again.
So they approved it the first time?
Yeah, amazing. I was so proud of him that he went through with it. Well, you forced it on him.
You're evil.
And cannot believe how brave he is the whole way home. He was crying because he was releasing his stress.
Was he?
He kept saying how it's just not fair that he has to do this. And he's right, it's not. Okay, it's just not fair he has to do this?
What does that mean? Like he should just be able to snap his fingers and change sexes?
Or is it that it's not fair that you made him do this? I don't know. I mean,
it's
how do you live with yourself as a person, as a parent who just forced your child into something they didn't want to do? Mm-hmm. Just really amazing. Meanwhile, in the NFL, the first transgender cheerleader, a dancer, 29, signed up for the Carolina Panthers. And of course,
all right,
you got to have your first trans
make the
cheerleader,
squad?
Right?
You make the squad, whatever your name is.
Justine Lindsay.
Of course, Justine Lindsay.
Told the world in an Instagram post that she made the Top Cats.
Yay, Top Cats!
Yay!
Woohoo! Yeah!
Yay!
Oh, look at that. Cat's out of the bag.
Okay. Newest member of the Carolina Panther. Of course, you knew they had to say yes.
Of course. Yeah. Oh, right.
They had to.
What kind of ridicule and public scorn is going to befall the Carolina Panthers were they not to allow Justin on the team?
Mm-hmm.
Justine.
Keep
messing that up. My bad.
I don't know why you do that.
I don't know.
Sam Ames, the director of advocacy and government affairs for the Trevor Project, said it's critical for LGBTQ children to see her as a role model.
Is it?
Ames said her dancing on the Panthers team could inspire LGBTQ youth. Chandelice Lenouette, the Top Cats director, insisted she was hired not to break barriers, but because of her record.
Record. All right.
Sure.
Carolina Panthers team slogan.
I'm sure her record is just filled with cheerleading experience.
Keep pounding, Carolina Panthers.
Wow. Isn't that something?
Is their slogan. By the way, Tyler Morgan, a Pathead, he makes it known to me that that Disney actor was busted in Utah. We knew it couldn't have been California that would send him to prison for falling in love with a 13-year-old.
Jeez. Great.
Good stuff.
Well, if you're a dog owner, you know that taking care of your pet means more to you than just giving them food and water. You want your dog to be happy. You want your dog to be healthy and active, and feeling puppy-like. And that's where Rough Greens comes in. Rough Greens is a dog food supplement that you just sprinkle on top of the doggy's food, and they seem to love it. Mine certainly does. She just gobbles her food down when the Rough Greens is on it, and has become much more frisky as a result. And she's getting up there now, too. She's, I think, 9. And I don't know how long little dogs live.
I hate that.
47 or something.
It's always in the back of your mind.
It is, yeah.
Oh, right?
Yeah, it's sad. Yeah. But you want the best, and she's getting the best, and so this could elongate her. Maybe she will live to 47, 57, somewhere in there. 87.
You rough estimate.
Yeah.
You're saying.
But the Rough Greens gives her the vitamins and minerals and the probiotics and antioxidants. And, of course, like I said, she absolutely loves it. Most dogs do. But you want to make sure that your dog is going to love this before you really go in and buy a full bag of it. So they're going to send you a free small bag of Rough Greens for your dog to try out for a couple days. All you have to pay is the shipping. Just go to roughgreens.com, RUFF Greens, roughgreens.com, or call 833-783-3364.
Pat Gray. Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
We're going to have Kyle Rittenhouse in studio here in just a few minutes. Hang on for that. We get so little good news that when some pops up, we like to share it. This is really good news.
Oh, wow. I have no idea what this is.
It's just an amazing cancer treatment trial in New York City. Oh, you haven't heard about this?
Not at all.
You read about that? You see this in the paper today? Kevin, you see this?
This sounds promising, Jay. This sounds promising.
It was just a small, really small trial. Okay. There were 12 patients. But this was led by Memorial Sloan Kettering, backed by drug maker GlaxoSmithKline. And everybody in the trial, all 12 patients, had a certain kind of cancer. I think it was rectal cancer, which is horrible. That's what Farrah Fawcett died of. Oh. But the results were unprecedented. Every single one of them is in complete remission now. Complete remission. No trace of cancer in their bodies after this trial. No surgery. They had no chemotherapy. Just this new pill that they gave them. And all 12 went into remission.
Did it say how long they were taking the pills until?
It did not.
Because maybe we could get this to market, say, I don't know, by close of business today.
That'd be nice.
Because that's about the time frame on these vaccines.
Right.
That had a lot of bad side effects.
And there were no severe side effects.
That is, oh my gosh. That is a great story.
The drug is dostarlimab. Dostarlimab.
Okay.
And so, I maybe write that down for the future. It's obviously not available for everybody yet, but hopefully will be if this continues to show this kind of promise. They got to expand the trial next time and do a lot more people, do the control process and all that stuff. But that's amazing. That shows real promise.
I really hope that I'm not getting ahead of myself. But do you remember that that old clip of was it Brett Gumbel and on the Today Show, and they couldn't figure out how to talk about the internet? And they were like, it's a World Wide Web internet.
Right. Hopefully that's the way it will be.
That's what I want June 7th, 2022.
Starlimib.
Right. I hope it becomes something so common.
Me too.
That we can look back at this and go, wow.
That would be really something.
Man, that's great news. I'm glad you shared that. Yeah. We need some of that, like you said.
Definitely. That would save
game changer
millions and millions of people. The former police commissioner of Boston is explaining why crime goes up. This is a good explanation right here.
Okay. Incident. But the solution to that requires effective policing, prevention, identification of people who are carrying guns, and frankly, more aggressive police activity in neighborhoods where we know those shootings are happening. And with very liberal DAs in some of these cities like Philadelphia, the police have backed off a little bit on that. The bad guys know that. They figured that out immediately. And if there's no downside to carrying a gun, a fist fight can turn into a shooting in a second.
There you go. So liberal DAs going soft on the what they end up giving these criminals.
That has nothing to do with it.
They know this, Pat, and so
what? All right. And Joe Manchin, of course, jumping on board with the whole gun control thing. This is disappointing.
Sure is.
Wants to raise the age to 21 for gun purchases. Doesn't see a need for AR-15s. Here's what he had to say.
We can do something that would have prevented this, raising the age, making sure that the age at least gives us a chance to work with that person, see and evaluate and have a little maturity to them. And the second thing is that we know that the red flag laws do work as long as there's due process.
So you think raising the age from 18 to 21 for all gun purchases?
Well, it's where it is, everything except for rifles and long guns right now, or if it's just for these high capacity weapons. Whatever they want to do, I'm open to doing something.
Good. Whatever they want to do.
Why do you think people even need an AR-15?
Yeah, why?
Why do people need it?
People that do. I never thought I had a need for that type of a high capacity automatic weapon. And I like to shoot. I like to go out and hunt. I like to go out sports shooting. I do all of that. But I've never felt I needed something of that magnitude.
Now, Manchin also told me that he is open to the idea of banning assault weapons.
Great. That's great news.
Style weapons. He said he wanted to see the proposal before actually supporting it. Now, that idea of an assault weapons ban will not be part of any final deal because of Republican resistance.
Yeah, those bastards.
Yeah.
How dare they defend the Second Amendment? How dare you? I just can't take it. I wonder if Kyle Rittenhouse will let us know if he saw the need for an AR-15 at any point in his life.
I did see a thing where...
you see the need for an AR-15? Why would anybody need one? What, are the deer wearing Kevlar vests in the forest? Is that what's going on? Because I don't think so.
You don't think that's
what
do
you need an AR-15 for?
Boy, that word pisses me off. Need?
Oh, I get...
Need.
Yeah.
It's like Obama saying, you don't need any more money. I saw a headline today, though, that GOP, because I thought that it was going to be a no-brainer on raising the age. I thought that was going to be an easy sell in the Senate.
Yeah.
But apparently, I saw a headline today. I haven't seen which senators it was, but I saw a thing that came across that said key GOP senators say that it's basically a non-starter on raising the age.
Yeah, because they don't want to go down that slippery slope.
Mm-hmm.
That's the next step that they use in order to just ban it for everybody. That's what they want to do. And everybody knows that's their goal right now. They've shared that with us multiple times. They want to ban assault weapons. And that's what they consider the AR-15.
Michael Malice, great quote here. Quote, all I'm asking for is the right to the same weapons that I paid for the Taliban to own. Michael Malice, great quote.
That's good. We'll be speaking with Kyle Rittenhouse in studio next.
Pat Gray returns on the Blaze Radio Network.
And we return with Kyle Rittenhouse, a name I'm sure you know. We don't probably have to introduce him with his life story. It's pretty well documented. But welcome, Kyle. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you guys for having me.
So, just for anybody who may not remember, you were a part of the Kenosha, Wisconsin protest, and you armed yourself. You were protecting friends' business, right? Wasn't that the idea in the beginning?
So I went down to Kenosha to watch over that business, but to also provide medical aid to anybody that needed it. That's why I was in Kenosha, to help people and make sure the business didn't get burned down.
So we just heard on a clip we played a few minutes ago from Joe Manchin, who said he can't understand why anybody would need an AR-15. Do you understand why anybody would need an AR-15?
We have our Second Amendment for one,
Yes.
just like our Constitution.
Yep.
And an AR-15 saved my life. If I didn't have that rifle, we wouldn't be sitting here right now.
Really important that you had that with you. A lot of people probably said at the beginning, why did you even go in the first place? That you shouldn't have been there in the first place. How do you respond to that?
Well, I was there. I defended myself, and I'm allowed to be anywhere just like any citizen of America.
Mm-hmm. And they had the right to protest, and you had the right to be there and protect the business and render assistance if it was necessary. So what are you doing now? From what I understand, you're moving to Texas.
Yeah, I'm going to be moving to Texas next couple months, and I'm going to be living in College Station in student housing.
Okay. And did you apply to Texas A&M and you did not get in, or because you're going to Blinn College, right? Which is kind of a feeder school for Texas A&M.
Yeah, so I sat down with the academic advisor from Texas A&M where we came up with an education plan. And part of that education plan involves me going to Blinn for the first year. And when I meet the academic requirements, I'll have a direct transfer to Texas A&M come next year.
Okay, so it wasn't they weren't discriminating against you or any of that. You didn't have a problem.
You had a
with
little
that.
bit going on, I think, during your high school days.
Yeah.
Maybe you weren't able to finish everything, right?
Just like any 19-year-old kid my age, well, like when all other 19-year-old kids my age were applying to college, I was on trial fighting for my life.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Seriously. And I know you were there in part because of your EMT background, right? Is that a career field that you're going to be pursuing at A&M, or is there something, what are you going to be majoring in, man?
Well, I haven't declared a major yet,
Okay.
but I actually want to get into aviation.
Nice.
I want to be a pilot. I'm actually in flight school right now learning how to fly.
Cool, man. All right, I like that.
What's life been like for you since the trial?
Well, it's been a little difficult with all the false narratives that have come out. Scared to go out.
You have been scared to go out?
My family, the people in my life have been harassed. My girlfriend has lost friends because she's dating me.
Wow.
I get called like a white supremacist, a murderer, a racist.
Yeah, that was one of the weird narratives that came up before, during, and even after the trial, that you were some white supremacist. A white supremacist who shot in self-defense white people, by the way.
And they just continued to go with it. I'm not a white supremacist.
Right.
They doubled down. And
I mean, the president of the United States inferred that you were a white supremacist. I mean, that has to.
Yeah.
How'd you take that?
Yeah. How did people make this about race?
I think with the whole election coming up, they wanted to push on a narrative, and they used me as their scapegoat.
Wow. Pretty despicable. And so I'm sure that you've gotten all kinds of flack from from people on the left? Do you find it's mostly people on the left that come after you?
Yeah. I feel they give me the most harassment.
And so, are you in the middle of suing several media outlets right now?
We actually hired Todd McNurtry, Nicholas Sandman's attorney, now my attorney.
Who did pretty well for him. Yeah. So you're in the process.
Yes.
Yeah. You have you filed a lawsuit, or are you just in the process of hiring lawyers?
I hired Todd, and then he's doing the research on all of them and filing everything. So hopefully soon we'll have some stuff filed.
Okay. And when do you start school in Texas?
I'll be starting August 25th.
Mm-hmm. What was it about Texas A&M that drew you down here?
So Dave has some friends who are big alumni for Texas A&M. So we came down and we toured the campus, and I just fell in love with it. I fell in love with the environment, the people, and I just wanted to make this a school I want to go to.
Have you had to have security with you?
Yes, I have.
You have. Wow.
So life's not near back to normal for you.
No, I don't think life will ever be back to normal with what happened and how my day-to-day life is. Like, I don't think I'll ever be able to get a job. I don't think I'll have a fair shake, just like any other person my age.
Or if it's the right thinking kind of person, an employer, it would maybe help you get a job. I mean, I speaking for myself, I absolutely respect you. And I am curious, though, now you've got street cred, man. Because you spent, 3 months in jail, right?
87 days.
What was that like, man?
It was scary. I was there away from my family. I lost a lot of weight when I was in there. I came out weighing 140 pounds when I normally weigh almost 200.
Wow.
I didn't shower for the longest time. My skin peeled off when I took a shower for the first time after jail. And then just the mental trauma of being there in a solitary confinement cell all by myself took a toll on my mental health.
You were in solitary. Was that for your protection, or were you being punished? It was for your protection?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I'm guessing, though, the jail weight loss program is not one you recommend for other people.
No, I wouldn't recommend the jail weight loss program.
What I started to say when you were talking about how getting a job and so on, you have a very recognizable face. Have people noticed you in public and made a public scene with you, or have you been able to lay low since the trial?
All the time. Almost every time I go out, somebody's either approaching me or coming up to me or yelling something at me as they walk past. I've been flicked off a couple times. I've been called a white supremacist a couple times.
Sure. God, it's insanity. Where's the gun, by the way? What happened to that?
So I decided to have that rifle destroyed. So it's now into a bunch of pieces.
So it has been
Yes.
destroyed. Okay.
It's really tough. It's because, like you said, you're going to have to live with this for a long time. Hopefully things will subside, calm down for you. But you mentioned that you didn't expect to be able to get a job because of all this?
Yeah, like if I want to apply for a major airline when I have my pilot license, I feel like they may look down upon me to hire me.
Yeah, boy. You might want to go the private route, maybe. I have no idea how the aviation industry works, but that might be the reality in all this, that you end up having to be a private pilot for a company. I mean, they are out there, so just something to keep in the back of your mind, I guess.
Well, we wish you good luck, and I hope things go really well for you at Blinn and afterwards. It's great that you're coming to the great state of Texas, though. I think things will improve once you're here.
I love Texas. It's a great state.
I think you'll find a more welcoming group of people here in Texas. So thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you guys for having me.
Let me tell you about Keeps. This is a way to keep your hair. Guys, if the first thing you notice when you look at a photo of yourself in the mirror, you look at a photo of yourself or you look in the mirror, and it's a receding hairline or a bald spot, Keeps can help you change that. Did you know that 2 out of 3 guys experience hair loss before they're even 35 years old? Do you really want to gamble with your hair? You can flip the odds in your favor and save your hair with Keeps. Hair loss is tough, and when you see it in pictures and your barber points it out and your significant other points it out, you want to do something about it. And a buzz cut is not the answer. Don't shave it, save it with Keeps. Keeps has clinically proven, FDA-approved hair treatments available online. Whether you're looking to prevent hair loss, stimulate hair growth, or take care of the hair you have, your Keeps physician will help you select just the right products and develop a personalized hair-saving routine that works for you. No waiting rooms, no pharmacy visits are necessary. Keeps is delivered straight to your door, and you can get in touch with your Keeps physician any time of the day or night, 24/7. So if the balding jokes are starting to wear thin, join the thousands of guys who have saved their hair with Keeps. Go to keeps.com/Pat to get 50% off your first order. That's KEEPS, keeps.com/Pat.
Beware, Pat Gray is unleashed.
I can't begin to imagine what that must be like for him. 19 years old. And everywhere you go, somebody's got an opinion about your life.
Yeah.
Everywhere you go. And a lot of times, you know, if you're a liberal, it's not a good opinion of your life. And it's, you know, people still to this day think he killed blacks. He did not. He did not.
No, you know, one of the guys he killed was I got to be careful here. So anyway, I want to be exactly straight. But, I mean, a guy was mental and was absolutely trying to kill Kyle and is a pedophile. But anyway.
Right. And that's not something we made up.
Right.
That's something that's in his past.
Yeah. And Kyle is the same exact age as my oldest daughter. And so throughout this whole process and throughout this trial, I was trying to imagine her in this situation. And
jeez.
The pressure. I cannot imagine what this young man went through.
Can't imagine. And continues to go through.
Continues to go through. And honestly, I'm not kidding when I say this. That trial's outcome restored just a little bit of faith in people like me in our judicial system.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, because you don't have any faith in what branch of government do you have faith in right now? And it was nice to see that justice was served in this because I didn't expect it.
I don't have faith in really any branch of the government.
There's no arm of the government, federal, local, it doesn't matter that I have any kind of trust. I doubt everything that our officials tell us now. You're going to have to prove it to me.
Which kind of fits in with this great post on Facebook from Tom Cranowiter, who says, before asking why citizens need AR-15s, as Joe Manchin did, why do citizens need AR-15s? Let's first ask why local police and sheriff offices need armored vehicles, military aircraft, and rocket-propelled grenades.
I like it.
Let's also ask, why do federal agencies such as the Small Business Administration, the Social Security Administration, the VA, the FDA, the EPA, the Smithsonian Institution, and National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration need to spend billions of dollars buying military? Are you kidding me? All of these agencies are buying military-grade guns, ammo, and other weapons of war and materials. The Small Business Administration? Social Security, the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, they need military-grade guns? What?
Makes you wonder, right?
What? And as Tom Cranowiter writes, whatever they are preparing for, we the people should prepare for it too. Well, yes. That is amazing.
Yeah. Is the IRS mentioned on there? I know you went through a bunch of alphabet
No,
agencies.
they're not even mentioned.
Because the IRS, we know, is armed to the teeth.
They're armed as well, yeah, of course. But the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration.
Oh, man, you don't
NOAA is armed like this.
Yeah, you don't want to piss off a government weatherman.
No, you don't.
The weatherman that works for the federal government has a bad forecast.
And how about the Smithsonian Institute? The museum people? They're armed to the teeth. They're getting military grade weapons. Wow, that's bizarre. That is bizarre. That's something we should spend some time on eventually. Really look into and check that out and try to find somebody who can explain why that would be the case if it in fact is. Man. Also, somebody posted this online, and Americans need to pay attention to this right now.
Yeah, this timeline is scary.
Because this is Venezuela's timeline. See if you see any similarities to another country that comes to mind.
We're going to play the match game?
Yeah.
Okay, so which country?
In Venezuela, 1992, Venezuela became the third richest country in the hemisphere in 1992. So that was 30 years ago. Okay. In 1997, they became the second largest purchaser of the F-150. Probably after us. In 2001, they voted for a socialist president.
Oh, no.
And income equality.
Okay.
Okay.
Cracks are starting to appear.
Really? Well, let's see. In 2004, private health care is completely socialized. In 2007, all higher education becomes free.
Oh, no.
2009, socialists banned private ownership of guns. 2012, Bernie Sanders praises their American dream.
Their American dream. Oh, no.
In 2014, opposition leaders are imprisoned.
Wait, this is really getting bad.
In 2016, food and healthcare shortages become widespread.
I know, speaking for where I live, we would never do any of this, especially get to a food shortage situation. Come on now.
In 2017, the Constitution and elections were suspended.
Technically, they already are here.
And in 2019, unarmed citizens massacred by their own government.
Okay.
All it took was one generation of progressive leadership to destroy this country and the people in it. I mean, Venezuela used to be a real success story. And now look at it.
That's a happy timeline for you.
Isn't it? Yeah, sure is.
Boy.
And here's somebody who really gets what's going on now. Somebody who really understands. As a former liberal, she explains her transformation.
Pretty much my whole life. So I was pro-choice. I hated Trump with a burning passion. Like, okay, this is embarrassing. But I cried when he got elected. Yeah, it wasn't my finest moment, but, you know. So right after he got elected, I found out my husband actually had voted for Trump in 2016. And I was
but that was a happy time,
to say the least.
Oh,
and
okay,
at the
you were
time, my
upset.
husband didn't know a whole lot about politics. And I was like, how could you vote for somebody that you don't even know what's going on? So he decided to educate himself. And we started having a lot of political conversations.
Okay.
And through those conversations, we really hashed it out. I really appreciate him for essentially challenging me and challenging my viewpoints because I wasn't doing that much. And I realized very quickly that I couldn't back up any of my and instead of realizing that I was wrong, I just tended to get angry. And I don't know, it was just a long process of that. It was a long process of, you know, talking about things, challenging myself. I started listening to, like, you know, a lot of conservative people, Ben Shapiro, Steven Crowder. I hated Candace Owens. I hated all of them so much. And then in 2019, I hit my tipping point with the whole when the Virginia abortion bill came up, and Ralph Northam said if a baby survived an abortion, they would make it comfortable and make a decision. And then, like, that was like the first bubble burst.
Yeah.
Because I literally heard that.
That's great.
I heard my husband brought it up, and I was like, "That's not real. That can't be real." And then I went and watched the clips, and I said, "Whoa!" I said, "That's way too far. Like, we can't be out here killing babies who have been born."
Thank you.
And it took that bubble burst, that one bubble burst, and all the other bubbles just started popping. That's my only way I can really describe it. I was just locked in a group think. I was locked. Honestly, it's really a cult mindset. I feel now like I had essentially been brainwashed by the left and by the media. And then when I started actually looking into what Trump did during his presidency, as opposed to what the media said he did, I was like, oh. So I have been conservative for a few years now, but I just wasn't comfortable ever talking about it until now.
And now she is.
I love it. And I think that...
And that's somebody with an open mind, though. And many of the people on the left don't have that.
I think a lot of people are where she is, even without Joe Biden being president and the insanities of the left. Because you'll see Trump got more votes in 2020 than in 2016.
Right.
I think people are understanding the insanity is everywhere. But
it was really hard to overcome the most popular president of all time with 81 million votes.
Yeah, shoot.
Keith, that was really hard to overcome that. And he couldn't. He couldn't overcome it because Joe Biden was so darn popular.
So popular, right?
So darn popular that when his wife, and she is amazingly popular as well.
That's who got the votes.
And when she put out her first book, and got 250 people to buy it in the first week. You knew how popular they really were.
You just knew, there's trouble on the horizon.
Oh, wow, are they popular?
Sure.
Holy cow. 250 books sold in 1 week. Incredible. Man, did that justify the money that they were paid to write those books? Oh, you bet it did.
Boy, that was...
You bet. What a good purchase.
I kind of look at it the way, Trump had all those votes and still lost to Biden. It was kind of like the baseball reference here, the Giants and the Dodgers last year, where I think one won 107 games and the other won 106 games, and just darn the luck, you couldn't have seen the tsunami of Joe Biden and the popularity and that wave that he rode to victory. It's just a bad year to get a lot of votes, Trump, because, shoot, you were up against a juggernaut.
Well, people have always loved Joe.
Sure.
I mean, there's no question about that.
Sure.
I mean, don't worry about the fact he's a liar. He's a lying sack. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about the fact that he's a racist, as we showed you earlier in the show today. Don't worry about that. Because the media certainly isn't worried about that.
Greatest economy ever, according to President Joe Biden.
That is so amazing.
There we go. Here we go.
Here's a dandelion.
Joe.
It's gone to seed.
Joe, I told you. No more of these stupid flower things. No.
And we're going to go.
Okay.
And you put that in some water.
Okay.
It's already dead, but.
Shoot.
Wait, you just threw it. Wait, you dropped it.
I dropped it.
You dropped it behind the marine.
Yeah, I sure did. I was hoping you wouldn't notice.
That's one of my favorite clips of all time, because it shows how absolutely ridiculous and out of it he is to pick a dead dandelion for his wife. It's not even the yellow kind. It's not even the kind that bloomed.
Well, she was supposed to make a wish, but you can't when you're wearing a freaking mask outside, Jill.
Stupid. Absolutely stupid.
You're supposed to blow. Oh, forget it.
Yeah, I know. We've been down that road so many times. Do we have time for the the great governor of New York?
No.
Oh, we don't?
No.
We'll have to save that maybe for overtime.
Yep, and that one too. They kind of go hand in hand.
Both of them.
Because they're
some
coming
chilling
for you.
Stuff. They're
Free
coming
speech
for us.
is dead, or it's on its way out. Let's put it that way.
And sadly, I've said this before. I don't think the sale to Elon Musk of Twitter is going to happen. I just don't see that happening now.
Yeah, they won't prove to him how many accounts are fake.
Right.
And so now he's threatening to walk. And
I think he will. I think he will. All right, 888-900-3393. We'll be back here tomorrow when you can use that number again. And we have overtime coming up.
Pat Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.